All right, guys. This is episode 2. Sorry for the delay. We've been really, really busy with WKO and other things. Before I get started, we're going to have episode 3 coming out next week after this WKO. But for now, we're going to talk about WKO at Guardian Games in Oregon. Talk about our trip and what we thought of the venue, seeing how it's our first time being there. Talk about our teams, people we played against, stuff like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this started. Trip down, that was interesting, or even the night before.
Yeah, it was no sleep.
Yeah,
Rally.
definitely no sleep.
A lot of rain.
A lot of rain.
A lot of damn rain.
That kind of sucked. Sucked even worse when that truck blew all that water onto us and we thought we broke the windshield.
Yeah, when everything goes wet and white all at once, you think it's done.
Yeah.
Wipe out.
Yeah, that's what I thought. When it hit, I'm like, we're toast.
Right.
We didn't even make it to the venue.
That moment felt like eternity, but it was probably a fraction of a second before the wipers hit.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like they said, your life flashes right before.
it did. It kind of felt like that.
I just kept thinking I had a good run. I was like, well, you had
Well,
a good run, Aubrey.
It was just terrible when my life flashed before my eyes. It was just me opening boosters at Hero Clinic.
Pretty much. Oh,
So you've had a successful life is what you're trying to tell us?
Yeah, I
That's what I'm
successfully throwing my money away.
right. Yeah,
I
pretty
went out
much.
like a G buying clicks.
Yep. So yeah, that was interesting. I mean, we found it all right, seeing how we pass it every single time we go to Milwaukee. So that wasn't really an issue. Finding an open restaurant though for breakfast, that was
Well, it just didn't
Or even a
happen.
bathroom.
didn't happen.
Well,
Right.
even on top of that, we misunderstood the start time. So we
Right.
got there an hour earlier than planned,
Right. Yeah.
which, with the weather the way it was, worked out really well.
I'm
But
surprised we got there that early.
yeah, it was just
Mostly
us
for
and
driving
Johnny.
slow,
Right. Yeah.
though. Johnny was like the only one standing at the store, like, "Hey, look who's there!"
Yeah.
I think I took a picture of that. If I have it, I'll put it up on the video when I post this on YouTube.
Straight
Oh.
Force 5 and Sisters Perplex.
Right? Yeah, the sisters perplex. But the venue, wow. I actually like it. Oregon's got some really solid venues, actually.
Yeah, I am 2 for 2 with venues down there.
Right?
Every tournament down there has been solid. The first one
agree.
we ever went to just wasn't in a venue, so
Right.
Yeah, pretty solid store. I mean, they even serve alcohol. That's
well,
kind of
yeah,
shocking.
it was just beer, but that was pretty cool. Like, I just
Did you actually get a chance to go back there?
no, I didn't.
It's pretty cool because they even have a table with a handful of frozen carbonite.
Oh, I saw it.
No, they have two of them. One was standing,
Yeah, I saw the one on the wall.
and there was another one literally at the table where you could game at.
Oh,
That's
that's tight.
awesome.
I was
Man.
like, dude, that's pretty dope.
Dude, that'd be terrible because I'd sit there all day and
Looking at handful.
eventually I would just get hammered and I'd be like, also, Wookie, nipple pinchy.
Right?
It's like you're trying to find the control so you go unfreeze him and like.
And then I'd be like, sir, you have to leave. And I'd be like, also, no, so.
Right.
And then you have the guy.
That'd be you, Dre.
I probably. I don't
Drunk
know.
off Corona Ritas or whatever.
Coronitas. It's a big of.
Dre only gets the 10-ounce bottles.
Right. Yeah.
Because if he spills it, I don't want him to make a mess.
Exactly.
No, that's a sin in Mexico if you spill a beer like that.
What's
Oh.
a sin wherever you
I was
go?
gonna say that's not a Mexico thing.
Yeah.
That's a sin.
That's America thing.
Yeah.
America.
Oh man, that's good stuff. But yeah, overall solid video games were there. I just like the layout. It's open. Lots of space to play games. I like that we weren't crowded.
I loved that we were not crowded.
Yeah, like different
Yeah.
sections for almost everything. Even for Magic, they had their own tables and their own little
Well,
section
and,
shop,
and even back to where the bathrooms were, which
private tables.
There was
Yeah,
another
yeah.
one in
There
the
were
very
D-
room in the back.
D&D groups back there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Basically, you could reserve them. And
Well, I
you
know
actually
there's
play
also
there.
Up top.
up top, and
There
then
were
you had that
upstairs?
one closed. Yeah, there was.
Oh, shit, I didn't know
Yeah,
that one.
That would have been so cool to play up there.
right.
I wanted to so
Um,
bad.
Normally, I'm not a big fan of open floor plans like that, but I don't know. Something about it just was awesome. Like, seeing walls of board games,
Right.
collectibles, even some video game stuff in the one corner.
Yeah.
They even were showing movies throughout the whole day.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were, you know how we were sitting right before the bar
Yeah.
on the right hand side on that big screen they have back
Oh
there?
yeah, because
They were showing the Starfighter.
Yeah, the last Starfighter.
Really?
And then after that, they were showing.
Damn it.
yeah. During one of your matches when me and Jordan were talking, we both kind of stopped. We're like, "Oh, the last Starfighter."
I
Exactly.
guess I was just too busy whooping ass at Quicks.
Right. And then the other one was.
I'm sorry. You must not let Chip know that he didn't win it.
Oh, damn. Ouch. Ouch.
Dear Chip.
But yeah,
It was
then
a
after
fluke.
that, they did Wreck-It Ralph after that.
Yeah, I gotta watch Wreck-It Ralph during one of my games.
Really?
There was a lot of time in between turns.
Yeah.
Damn. I guess, man, I should just open. Maybe I'll need to take a trip down and just go to that store.
I would like to just get a hotel room, spend a
Mhm.
weekend down there, drink beer, and play Hero
Or
Clicks in
you.
this venue.
Yeah,
I'd be down.
they had a lot of people that were
Yeah.
regulars too, which was awesome.
Mostly they had the pre-release on that Sunday too.
Yeah, because there was a lot of people doing the Joker's Wild Battle Royales too, which helped.
That's the only thing that I think I have a gripe with is the fact that they didn't save some of the.
Well, they
Wild Cards.
couldn't. There's no.
I understand that, but
Yeah,
they could've-
Dre. Yeah, Dre.
all the
Oh
product.
yeah, we're just gonna save this one brick. You know, maybe later some of these guys will want to do Battle Royale.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. There's piranha everywhere.
Well, they could have sold the Spider-Man stuff.
Dude, it's like when a brick hits the store here
I
in
know,
town.
I know.
Which we live in a small town called Chehalis, and diversifies the game in town. And it's like we can smell blood in the water when that brick hits.
Like sharks.
Right.
Gosh,
Usually.
you know.
Yeah, but I mean, that venue, that was.
I like that.
Super
I'd like to play there again. That's, you
And
know.
they got fucking delivery for food too.
That was
Because
really
I saw
cool.
a couple people fucking ordering pizzas. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm fucking hungry.
Right. I ate a thing of M&Ms and had water all day.
I was pretty much jacked up on energy drinks and coffee,
Yeah.
and I'm
Well-
pretty sure I traveled through time at one point.
Like, you had a good reason though. You had a good reason.
Oh,
Had a
Jesus.
gas station chicken sandwich covered in jalapeno, so I was roaring, ready to go.
I
Yeah.
forgot to even get something. I got coffee, and I'm like sold.
Perfect.
Oh, man.
I only require liquids.
Right?
Oh man, the fact that we actually got to hang out outside of the venue before we even opened up, saw
Yeah.
all the players down there.
Yep.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Good
Yeah.
set of people.
It was like a magnet. It's like
it was a
it
big.
started with
nerd
Johnny
circle.
and us, and then I seen everybody just.
Well, then Daniel showed up, and it became quite the nerddom there.
Right. Loitering.
Yeah, straight out of Chehalis.
Right? You guys need to move along.
Yeah,
But you have plasticity, officer.
you're not even an officer. You're like the Green Police. You're in Portland.
Oh.
Do I roll to break away? How does this work?
Did I shape change out of this?
Right.
Did
And
my
the fact
super
that we're
senses
waiting
evade
for
this?
Steve actually pass shows
Dude,
up.
Apparently that cop has precision strike.
Right.
I should. Never mind. Never mind.
It's gonna go
Oh,
on forever.
man.
Oh,
So, yeah, I mean, needless to say, we really like the venue. Hopefully we'll be able to play there again. It was really cool that Gabby's and them decided to have WKOs on separate weekends because it's the only reason we haven't gone down there is Gabby's is about 30 minutes from where we are. And, I mean, why drive an hour and a half if we can just drive a half hour, you know?
well, that's
It's a
just like
venue we know.
yeah, right, and that's just like our argument for the ROC state
That's our home
qualifiers.
venue right there.
Why drive 6 hours to Spokane
Spokane
Valley?
Valley.
Yeah,
Right.
or we could drive hour and a half down to Milwaukee.
Right.
Milwaukee.
It's a free win in Spokane.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing's free.
That's
Yeah.
my type of tournament. Walk in, win one game. Congratulations, you're the regional winner.
Right.
And too bad that will never happen for you, Aubrey.
You say that. You say that now.
Yeah. Yes, Matt Peterson said that.
Yeah, right?
I'll
It
prove
is
him wrong.
officially recorded, so
Right.
it's there.
Just like you wanted to prove me wrong at, you know,
Just wait for the
Gabby's-
Saturday. Oh,
Gabby's last
yeah.
night, you know.
You want to
that,
pull that?
that panned out.
Oh, I
But
only
that-
have
that-
outsiders
Oh.
and sealed. Oh,
Yeah. Well, that's a whole nother story, and maybe at the end of this podcast, you know, we'll go into that.
just
But
take a super scroll and roll a night sealed. I don't know how I won.
whatever. So needless to say, we like the venue. The teams, we're gonna go into a little bit about our teams. For the most part, I think me and Dre pretty much had our teams probably about 4 months in advance, it seems like.
Almost.
Matt had been contemplating between a couple for about that long almost.
Yes.
Aubrey, he had a team in mind, and I needed to borrow some of his stuff, and I had 2 teams that I couldn't decide between, so we just basically said, he said, I'll just run whichever one you don't run. And so that's kind of how it came to. I ended up running a dual war wheel, dual Nick with Pandora's Box, Envy and Pride relics, and 2 ID cards. One being a shield level 7 assigned to Nick and Peg, and I think I played 7 games, and every last time I chose Nick. Peggy was not needed. I chose U.S. Agent purely for that inspiration. I thought Midnight Suns would be a thing, and Robert, if you're listening, he now knows what U.S. Agent ID card does, and he was not too happy about that. It did its job. It did its job well. I did some testing. I did not test versus unkillable, untargetable, hard to kill teams. We just did not think the last WKO we went to. Me and Matt ran teams like that, and it was just a whole bunch of roll-offs. It didn't seem to be all that powerful.
It was no killing power.
Yeah,
it was
not good.
I mean, your best bet with those teams were like they had characters like Atomica and Henry,
yeah,
or something like that, where you could get small points and get the win.
Right. So, excuse me. Yeah, needless to say, we didn't think it was going to be a thing, and we were wrong.
We were dead wrong.
Right. Well, I had been testing a Lex team with some powerhouse pieces using Dual Atomica and the ATA. Had some luck to it, but even in my play testing with it, it didn't win that often.
Well, yeah, because when we were getting ready for what was it, U.S. Cup down in Vegas. Play tested against my Superman Blue team, and you didn't even think about EE.
Right.
And then I either had to kill your call-ins or do enough splash damage on Lex.
Right.
I had characters who eventually got Pulse Wave.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was just really unlucky that we did a lot of play testing with Pulse Wave, and that's maybe why, but
it was pretty gross.
We just did not think it was a thing, so we didn't really plan for it, and that was a mistake, because normally I'm a pretty good advocate, plan for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Build for something, plan for everything, and boy, I just didn't push that. Maybe I should have, but...
Well, we were trying to push with all the other teams that we see in almost even for Atlanta, we saw a lot of Quinjet teams up there, so we were expecting Quinjets of the Yin Yang and also Felix, but that wasn't really going to be a concern.
There was quite a bit of Felix there.
There was a lot of Felix.
Exactly, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, there was actually a pretty good showing of Faust at Oregon. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, Faust, even after the errata, still does enough that a player that can pick one up for $15, I mean, why not? Especially if you're running a mystical team.
Unless you're playing against me, and then Faust doesn't seem to do much, but...
Right, well,
I'm sorry you rolled blank 3 times in a row?
Yeah, pretty much.
That can happen, too.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that was my team, the Dual Knicks.
Well, tell me
first,
how you placed.
Yeah, I mean, I placed 3rd. We'll get into that. I want to go into the Swiss a little bit first about my day, and I was nervous. I pulled Robert first match. He was playing the Strange Faust, Midnight Suns, and that was interesting. It's my first time meeting him. Solid dude, really cool dude. We had a lot of fun during that match. His rolls were not there. Oh my goodness, Faust may as well had a Strike Force 5 jersey on because I just rolled up on him, and he had some cruddy placement on some objects that he wasn't expecting, so I was able to bust through the little piece of blocking on Neighborhood, and Strange didn't see what coming just because Nick hides behind elevator turret. So that was a fun match. My second matchup was against, I wish I would remember his name, and if I had my build sheet in front of me, I would have it. But he was playing the Mary Marvel, Supreme Intelligence, Night Nurse.
Actually, I think that was in his first tournament too.
That was his first major tournament.
Right.
Yeah. He rolled up with Pandora's Box from God of War, the collector's edition box, and that's what he kept his team in. And
that's tight.
It was awesome. But yeah, because I played him too.
Yeah, I mean, he had a pretty solid team. It was tempo-ish, and Nick just...
Took it apart.
Well, he rolled up, he got an object, he sat in the corner. I mean, he counted everything out right, blah, 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 did all this stuff, got behind blocking. And I just pulled my Knicks up, said you couldn't use hypersonic, and just killed the rest of his team.
I said he pulled the same mistake I did, where I didn't anticipate the extra range.
No, he was doing actually really good. It was
just straight.
He didn't really make mistakes. He played well.
No,
he did what he could. It was just overpowering. I actually felt bad. He was a really good sport. We had a lot of fun. That was a really fun match. And he played really well. Hopefully he'll continue to play, because I think, if that was his first major tournament, I don't know how long he's been playing, but if you've never seen a Nick or some of the stuff that's out there, or you don't pay attention to competitive play.
Well, me and him actually had a conversation about that, and I'll get to that when we talk about my Swiss.
And then my third match, I believe, was Daniel Schroedermeister, a good friend of ours. We actually met at our first Salem Rock, and we've been keeping in touch with him. And if you guys don't know who that is, it's Daniel Schroedermeister. No, actually, it's Schroeder, isn't it?
His last name's Schroeder, but he goes by Schroedermeister.
I just call him Schroedermeister.
On
everything,
and PlayStation.
He doesn't really have a lot of people to play test with, and when I mean not many people, it's zero.
He plays with himself.
He play tests against himself. Guy's solid. Anybody who has a chance to play him knows it. Solid dude. He was playing Shazam, another Faust, and Eclipso. Yeah, Eclipso on Shazam.
Did he have a box as well?
Yes, I believe he was playing with Pandora's Box as well. Again, same issues. His Faust rolls, he got some okay ones, but they just weren't there. And I think just like Robert, all the rest of his games, his Faust rolls were there. Like, he was doing really well, because both those guys went 3-1. I believe I'm the only one who handed him a loss. And it was pretty overpowering with that one, but he learned a lot from our first game. Just super fun. Again, he wasn't making mistakes. He did make one mistake on our game. He sidestepped out to get an object. Didn't realize I could get Nick so far up, and then I just locked him down. You don't expect Nick on a map. I mean, we played on what map was that? It was a map. I forget. It was one of the Battle Royale maps from the Civil War.
Oh.
And I got all the way up in the middle, drew a really funky line of fire, and locked him down. And it was game after that. So at that point, I think I'd given up like 50 points on the day. I wiped 3 teams. I was doing really well, feeling really confident. Me and Jordan Beers almost thought we were going to go against each other at that point.
I thought you guys were going.
And I had a plan for his team that we will never. Maybe we'll have to play that game next time I see him, just to see what would happen. Because I'm pretty sure I know what would happen.
I wish you would have taken that.
Oh man, I would have rolled up on him. I would have hit him with one Nick, knocked him down to a stop click, said he couldn't use a stop click, and then killed his Captain America. So
we could have swapped opponents.
I would have loved to.
Instead, I pulled Dual Mystique, and I about shit my pants.
That's the guy that got second place on that.
Yes, and I know his last name's Ellis.
David
Ellis.
David
That's
Ellis.
right, David Ellis. Super cool dude. He looks really like another guy I was playing against in some of the Milwaukee things. I thought it was him, but they look really close to like. Another really down-to-earth guy. That team and him, man, that was some really good positioning. I did all I could. I made a big mistake of sacrificing a war wheel. I shouldn't have done that. But it allowed me, when I did it, to make it so one of his Mystiques could not get away with sidestep. And they were dual actions, and I took my chance. And he had combat reflexes, shape change, and impervious. And I can only take away one thing, and I chose the impervious because I had a prob, just because when I hit, I wanted to hit him hard. And he rolled a 5 on shape change, and that ended the game. I didn't have the pieces to surround a Mystique well enough, and he eventually, just a little bit, outwitted my stuff, and, he played a good game. He beat me. So he went 4-0 on the day. He is one of 2 people that handed me a loss. He ended up coming in second. It was enough to get in the top 8. So I was happy about that. Top 8, my first matchup was versus Daniel again. We went to, it was the Bank Heist map, I believe. The other side of Friendly Neighborhood.
Yes.
Oh,
And
did he win map roll?
He did. He
Huh.
did. I rolled. Dude, I just rolled cruddy. Um,
Happens.
and yeah, I mean, I think against Daniel was the only time I lost map roll. I think.
Never lose.
Actually, I believe that's what happened.
Okay, with the 12.
And we played again. He didn't make so many mistakes, but again, it just overpowered. Faust again. No rolls. Oh, man. This time I ended up killing, I think I killed Faust first. I can't remember now. But I ended up winning that, going on the top 4, which I was pretty happy about. And good old Chip Barnett, who, if you guys don't know, won the WKO. Congrats to him. I played him. It was some positioning. He killed Nyx, and I made one big mistake. EE, man. I made my EE mistake again, and I burned that so well into my head. I made that mistake, so I ended up... and it wasn't really killing the war wheels that hurt me. It's the fact that he also hit the ESD rolls, and he ended up dealing 2 damage to both my Nyx. That hurt.
Was it with a green arrow that he hit?
Yeah. Yep. That sucked. I should have sidestepped away. We talked about it afterwards. I was surprised. He was surprised I didn't do it. I just forgot. And he capitalized on it. I ended up, though, that game went back and forth. He killed my war wheels. And then, so that was 30 to my, he had 30 points. I had 5 because of his call-in. I turned around, called in my own Nick, which I think is the only time I called in Nick. I can't remember now, but I ended up killing his Jarvis 12 squares away. Perfect line of fire, 45 out. Put me up, and then I told myself there's no way I was going to get that Lex, so I started to run. I sidestepped one towards some stealth. I was going to try and get over there. The other one around some elevated. He ended up calling in 150-point Trinity War Batman, perplexing down his range. So he only had a 4 range, and it was just enough so he could pulse wave. After he outwitted my other Nick's prob, hit the roll, killed my Nick. Crit hit, of all things.
Yeah, I was watching that.
Yep, he crit hit, and that was huge. That was so huge. And that was after he tried to retaliate with Adam and missed. And I killed his Adam for 15 more points.
That was when you called in your last... You had already called in your last Nick.
Yeah.
And you used all 3 probs.
Yeah.
And the last prob missed.
Yep. He had to hit 12 on 18s.
11 on 18s.
11. It was 11? Yeah, maybe. Whatever his attack is.
It was super doable, and he did it 3 times.
Yeah, and then missed by 1 or 2 or something like that. Yeah.
He missed by 1.
And then, he capitalized, killed my Nick, and it was pretty much game. He beat me. So, I mean, my only 2 losses on the day were from the people who placed first and second. Really good turnout for me. After that, me and Robert got to play again. That was our second matchup for the 3rd place berth for the Nationals invite. And we played again, and his Faust, man, he had solid rolls. He was pretty confident, I felt like, going in. And his Faust couldn't roll. He did roll yellow once, and that hurt. But, and he didn't make the mistake with Strange again, kept him hidden. Unfortunately, keeping Faust out in the open, I killed Faust. And then it was just downhill from there. Again, I really enjoyed playing him. It was kind of funny, because at the end, I had so many Nicks I was gathering up, and I accidentally grabbed his. So, I got to give that back to Johnny this weekend. But overall, I had a lot of fun. 3rd place, national invite. Now I might get to go to Ohio. I got trying to live up to that. It's actually really enjoyable. Just really a lot of fun. A lot of good people. A lot of good competition. I had a lot of fun.
Solid competition.
Yeah, solid. I mean, there was only 24 people, but
Top of the time.
solid competition.
Yeah.
Holy cow. But yeah, that was my day. A lot of fun.
You should talk about your super strength attack with Nick, though.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Who was that again? That was against Daniel.
That was against Daniel.
That's
His third game. Because I was with
forgot.
Jordan, and we were both laughing for like 20 minutes through our match.
I forgot about that. Yeah, because on that matchup, when I was able to get him, I only had one Nick with a relic, and so I had rolls between super strength and quake, and I did. I rolled up with a Nick, sidestep, grabbed a super ultra heavy, and I used all my perplexes. He was the highest point character, so I had 14 attack for it'd be 6 damage.
So gross.
Penetrating. I missed, but
it was still.
I remember that because I was like, yeah, I said it, and then you and Jordan both turned around like, did we just do that right? Like, is Nick using super strength? Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was. If Daniel, you're gonna listen to this, I know you are. You're probably gonna laugh about it again. That was sweet. But yeah, that was enough about my day. I'm gonna go ahead and let Matt talk about his day and how he felt.
So after playing the lottery with how many teams I was going to run with, the results were in, and I decided to go with the Wonder Woman Comrade Proteus build with Solaris. I experimented with the Atom for a while, but his defense is just too low that it just does not work. Like with Solaris, you're a standard 19. Like it's so much better. Putting that Proteus on that Morlock. Go ahead and pick whatever click you want me to have because I don't really care. Most of the time I push the Morlock to death anyway. And then Red Sun Wonder Woman with Eclipso, 19D with Invincible, Shape Change. Always put the Sloth Relic on her. But that's what I ran. Full box, no call-ins. I talked to the guy who originally built this team, Joshua Ernest, and it's just a wacky enough build that I really liked it. And it seemed to do well. I get why I ran it after I played it. So my first matchup on the day, Brian drew Robert from Sisters Perplex, and I drew Jordan from Sisters Perplex. Hey, it could be worse. It could be transgenders of outwit, but
or transvestites of support.
Yeah. But anyway, well, Jordan a brother's prob. Anyway, and his team was Can't Die Tech, so it was Resman, Deadman, a box with 2 Sins on it, and the LE Captain America with Sloth on it. So basically that match just ended up with me and Jordan moving our pieces around the board for an hour. And then we got in total lockdown. Basically, most of the match was just kind of boring with positioning, but when it came down to it, it was Wonder Woman and Proteus right on top of Captain America with Solaris on the other side. Proteus had Lust on him, and then Solaris would outwit Captain America's improved movement. And then I would just try to beat the crap out of him. Just try to beat him down to those stop clicks. And I started pacing my attacks, but man, I could just not hit. I could not continuously hit. Like, even with Resman and Deadman right there, like, they weren't really too big of a threat because all the combat reflexes and high defenses. And then if you're not familiar with Wonder Woman's trait, if you're attacking a lower point character, a friendly lower point character, you get -1 to your attack and damage. So after I slapped the old ESD on Solaris, Deadman had to hit. He had to crit hit in order to to KO Solaris from range. Jordan rolled 11 several times, but it just
never went down for that.
It never worked out. So he scored my Morlock. I mean, don't get me wrong. I shouldn't say I hate losing, but from that match, I was content if Jordan won, I was like, more power to you, because that was an insane game. Match 2 was this guy running. God, I wish I knew his name, and I wish I hadn't tossed my build sheet. But he ran a Hawkeye, 100-point super rare Hulk, and
What the?
and shifting focus Ant-Man. And he shifted between one of the tiny sized Ant-Mans and I think it's the super rare one that shifts. But anyway, and he had my favorite. He had my favorite team of one of my favorite ATAs on it, which is Secret Avengers ATA. If you're unfamiliar with it, then you guys need to start reading more. But
HC Realms, the place to go.
yeah, just log on HC Realms, sucker. No, it's you can't outwit or perplex them until they've been the target of an attack. I used to love putting that thing on Silver Centurion, but anyway, I knew in order to beat him, I had to sacrifice my Proteus. So I just got out there and Proteus single target pulse wave that Hawkeye for 4. And then Hulk came in and Hulk smashed, which I knew was going to happen. But then, Solaris' Colossal Retaliation, where he's just like, action tokens, action tokens, action tokens.
Eat those action tokens.
Yeah, so kept some lockdown, a little bit of penetrating damage. Then Wonder Woman just hypersonicked in and does what she does best, like just whacks the crap out of everybody. It kind of sucked when that Ant-Man got plasticity, and I had to do some sidesteppering.
I totally apologize for the cat. I just got a new kitten tonight, and yeah.
So eventually I got around it and won, but it was a super fun match. Yeah. So my third round was against the guy Brian played in round 2, who ran the Mary Marvel with what is it? The jar the booger in the jar. Supreme Intelligence.
Supreme Intelligence.
Yeah, the booger.
As a resource.
Yeah, as a resource. Mizzle pick.
That's who the last person was on his team.
And then I can't remember. Oh, he had Night Nurse too, I think.
Yeah.
Yet again, I did what had to be done. I picked some Precision Strike with Wonder Woman. I rolled his mix roll was like a 6, and Wonder Woman rolled an 11 on Mizzle pick. And I was like, well, dude, replacing it won't do anything. He's like, you're right. Like, there was a couple times where he was going to running shot, try to hit Solaris. But I'm like, well, remember, you only got 1 damage and because of the -1, and Solaris has toughness. He's like, oh, yeah, I don't want to do that. I go, no, dude, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
Yeah, so yet again, my Proteus bit the dust because I should have just given him the sin, kept him alive, but sometimes I play it fast and loose. But I ended up taking that match. And then as little points given out and as wild as my first match was with Jordan, I played Jason Carr, who's Doom Sage, I think on Realms and Win, the Wizkid system. He was running a Lex team with a Thug. He had 3 Thugs and an Atomica. So he was picking where we were going because apparently I don't care about theme. Needless to say, that was crazy. He friggin' melted through like Solaris like it didn't exist. Or no, I'm sorry, not Solaris, Proteus. Like he called it that 200-point Wonder Woman. That's just like, oh, by the way, don't prod me, sucker.
Like what, 12 attack?
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, it was just an 11. But no, I think he perplexed it up even. Like it was gross.
15.
And he just waxed my Proteus. It wasn't even like what am I gonna? It was just done. I'm like, well,
no saving yourself from that one.
I did some moving around. avoided some lockdown plasticity with Lex, killed his thugs, got some of the call-ins. Oh, the biggest play in that game, he called in Green Arrow, used it to kill Solaris and Wonder Woman, or not kill Wonder Woman, but injure Wonder Woman and kill Solaris, which I just love because when I call in that Green Arrow, I roll a 3, and he's like, oh, a 10, that hits everything. So
52 attack. You get hit.
He,
You get hit.
yeah.
Everybody gets hit.
So after he did that, Wonder Woman had to do the brunt of the work. I hit the Green Arrow with an ultra heavy object, just instantly killing it. So I got the 85 there, and then I just picked off thugs. He called in a 200-point War Machine from Age of Ultron, and he missed both his pulse wave attacks with it because he attacked, prodded with Atomica, attacked again. It was like 11 on a 19 though. So
I was about to say, how the hell did he make 2 attacks?
yeah, because War Machine don't care. War is in his name. And then he finally just attacked with Lex, beat Wonder Woman down to her stop click. She regened up and then just ran away. Because there is no way on God's green earth I was eating through Lex's dial. There was nothing I could do. So I took that game, but it was one insane match. There were some attacks he should have hit and just straight up missed them. He normally he judges with Todd at Things from Another World in Milwaukee, but man, he's a hell of a player. So I made top 8. Barely, or I shouldn't say barely. I went 3-1, but to me it was barely. And Jason made it in the top 8 too because he accrued a lot of points that day. So I was glad to see him in it. I like him. I like seeing the people I played in Swiss in top 8 as well. Like Jordan made top 8. So round 1, my only round, I played Chip, who won it. And it was another Lex team with a Thug, a Jarvis, and an Atom. Yet again, Wonder Woman. This time, I think Proteus had combat reflexes. Yeah, he did because he sidestepped around a corner. And Wonder Woman just rolled in hot again with her flurry. Missed her first attack, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Second attack. Oh, yeah, she hit that. She didn't.
No problem.
She's like, yeah, no craps given. So at that point, I'm trying to work killing off his Thug. Pretty sure I one-shot at his Jarvis. One-shotted. He went to Colossal Retaliate with the Atom, too. I missed. So that sucked. Yeah, it was just... I didn't kill off his Thug, but I killed off Jarvis and the Atom. But at that point, I had to haul ass out of there, get past Lusty Lexi, because he had the Luster Alec on him, hit the Thug, and that was my only chance to win. Well, if you listen to the beginning of my story, you already know how it went. Needless to say,
he did not succeed.
He called in. He called in a Nick, knocked me down to my stop click, said I couldn't use my stop click. I had to clear, and then Lex was just like, a Balamo pulse wave, and that was game. The only thing that would have saved me is if Lex would have missed that roll, and if Lex missed that roll, then I would have had to start going to church or something. But yeah, overall, it was very diverse group of teams. Not a hell of a lot of Quinjets, no Krangs, no double dinos. Mad props to everybody that played. I was a little upset to see the Mystiques.
Dude, so many don't die attacks.
Yeah, so
five of the top 8?
Well, can die and
untargetable, or rejuvenating.
Bullshit. And that's coming from a guy who ran dual Nicks.
But at least yours is just you can use something for that.
That's what I'm saying. Mine's a pretty bullshit team, and I'm calling theirs bullshit. I think 5 of the top 8.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It was either Midnight, Untargetable, or Undead.
Way too many.
But yeah, so and then but it was solid. I enjoyed it. I love the venue. Yeah, I enjoyed the crap out of it. Did a battle royale with Aubrey, Johnny, and Jordan.
That was a lot of fun.
That was, yeah,
Yeah, we almost gave up Aubrey for Two Sisters Prom.
yeah. I
Got an invite to Sisters
I'm
for
still
Black.
considering it.
And, offer still stands.
my down payment's in the mail for him to take you. But
John, if you're listening, come pick him up.
yeah, he's kind of potty trained.
He's going home with you on Saturday.
Yeah, Johnny,
It's
don't
on the
listen
day.
to this till Sunday, please. Yeah, that was pretty much my experience. Yeah, Dre.
Well, my day went pretty well as I could have done for what I ran. I didn't run any of the most of the bullshit teams we saw. I ended up running basically almost a variation of my Vegas team. The only thing I changed was the Nick Fury to instead of Sunfire. But here's the build if you guys haven't heard. It was a Nick Fury with Brainiac on him, Age of Ultron drone, Spectre at 35 for his prop, Brimstone and Solaris for retaliation. Pandora's Box with Wrath and Sloth. Wrath went to Ultron Drone and Sloth went to Nick Fury. Had 5 IDs, level 7 with another Nick. Green Arrow for the Green Arrow LE. Nightwing for the Nightwing LE. Wonder Woman from Batman vs. Superman. And Atom ID for another retaliation just in case. But my first match was with a guy named Keith Collins. We actually met him up in Milwaukee, a couple rock tournaments, so I knew him pretty well, so it was kind of good to see a familiar face. He ended up running a Punisher van with Punisher LE from Civil War, Night Nurse, and Nick Fury, which he, instead of using Punisher as a attack vehicle, he used it as basically a ambulance instead, because he ended up putting a Night Nurse as a driver. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So I ended up going pretty good against that team. He only took my Spectre, and that was about it for most of the day for him. My second matchup was against Jason Carr, which, from what you already heard from Matt, was no fucking joke. It was good to see him again. Like Matt said, great guy. It's always good to see him and to see him play for the first time. Like Matt said, he's no joke. He's really good. He knew what to do in his matchup. Fortunately, I only took 49 points that matchup from a Thug and his Atomica. Actually, no, only the Atomica and a couple IDs. That's what I took. He got most of my team, got me down to my Spectre, which allowed me to put him at his last click. If I would have taken that, one of his Thugs, and I think I could have won, could have got into the top 8, but I'll go into that a little bit later. But overall, I had a fun team with him. Great game. He just that stupid War Machine and Wonder Woman. It was just stupid. So that was with Jason. My third game was against Sisters Prob. Vince Gentile, I believe that's his last name.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude. I actually I enjoyed playing against him, even though he's gonna hate me for all the prob I had that game, because he ended up playing I believe it was Skull Ship with not Solaris, with the Booker as a resource dial.
Supreme
Yeah,
Intelligence.
Supreme Intelligence. Freaking Jarvis, and I forget what was the other piece, but I think it was that. Basically, I ended up rolling up on him. Ended up using Pensai with Nick because obviously the Skull Ship was the biggest point character in the map the whole freaking time. So I ate through his ship very quickly. And every time he hit me, I ended up using like about 3 props because I couldn't get my running shot roll. So I was having 3 props overall. I had from Spectre, Nick, and the drone had prop most of the game. So whenever he hit twice, and then the third one I ended up propping, he ended up missing. So he was frustrated for most of the game with all those props I was using. But overall, I had a good game against him. I know he's probably gonna end up hating me for it. And my last game was against Jordan, another one of Brothers Prob, which I hate him. Not as a player, just for the team.
And as a player.
Well, just a little bit, but like Brian was saying, they were thinking that they were gonna play. I was hoping that would have been the case, then I wouldn't have to face him. But I ended up drawing him, so
It's either that or the dual mystiques, dude.
I think it would have been either one. I could have been either way. I was screwed. So I ended up playing against him. His team, I couldn't do nothing against it. No matter how many times I tried to lock him down, just kept running away because of that Captain America improved movement, ignores all characters. And, at the end of the match, we were talking about it. Even with Matt, he even told me that I could have outwitted his improved movement on Captain America with Solaris, which I totally didn't know and I forgot about it. So overall, key element mistakes right there is, not knowing some of the powers at that time. Kind of like, Brian forgetting EE.
Oh.
But overall, he ended up winning. I didn't take any points. I missed out on top 8. Missed it by 9 points. And I think the person that ended up getting 8th place was Jason Carr, which I was happy that he got to, go into that top 8, but missed it by 8 points. So going back to those 2 matches with Jordan and Jason, those not getting those points from Jason from his thugs is what cost me top 8. But then again, it could have gone either way. If I would have gone with Mystique, probably would have same thing would have happened. But overall, had a good game, good turnout, great players all around. I ended up doing a couple battle royales with a lot of different people. So I got some of the stuff I wanted from the tournament, even though I had to pay a little bit extra for it since I wanted to just go through top 8 instead of going through royales. But overall, I had a good experience. Great to see all the guys down there from Brothers Prob. I think overall, we had a good turnout versus them versus that team overall. I think we ended up almost going tied maybe on wins against them.
I have no idea.
No, I'm pretty sure
They took it maybe.
every single time they played you guys or Aubrey, they beat you.
Yeah, they
With the exception of me.
I went 1-1.
Oh, did you?
I went 1-1 because I beat Vince and I lost to Jordan.
I only played one of them.
And you lost.
Same here. Lost.
Aubrey lost.
Aubrey doesn't count.
Yeah, and you
Fair
were
enough.
1-1.
Mm-hmm.
And I only played Robert, and I played him twice and beat him twice.
So actually, it does even out.
But more importantly,
More importantly.
Strikeforce 5 plays higher in the tournament than them.
That is true.
So are we saying Strikeforce 5 is better than Sisters for Blacks?
No, well, ultimately, and I don't know how they feel about it. I mean, we were talking back and forth on Facebook the night before, and I was just saying I'm glad that we could talk shit to each other. It's in a friendly manner. We have fun. It's competitive, but I think really it's each team from their own states just bringing love to the Pacific Northwest, and that's the ultimate thing. Pacific Northwest doesn't get much love for clicks, and you got some guys, and not even on these 2 teams, just from everywhere, just really showing what we're made of. There's a lot of good competitive players up here. I think we're in agreement that we need to get the West Coast versus East Coast on.
Oh yeah.
Best place to do that, of course, is going to be at Patrick's Majestic Regional.
Very true.
But before we go into some of that stuff, let's let Aubrey talk about his day. And
Aubrey, before I forgot one thing I was going to say.
Go ahead.
And Brian, because I said when Brian played the one dude that ran Mary Marvel.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
So I talked to him after the match. We had a little bit of time, and it was his first tournament. and he seemed to really enjoy it. And I said, "Yeah, dude, they're totally worth going to." And he's like, "Yeah, I was just worried, with these bigger end tournaments, you're gonna come across more dicks." And I was just like, man, that's what I thought the first time I played. The first time, me, Brian, and Cameron went to the Everett Super Q, we just thought it was gonna be a bunch of a-holes. But I really, in all the tournaments I've gone to, the players that are super dickish usually don't come.
No.
Because they're small fish in small ponds, or I should say a big fish in a small pond, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But so they kind of just win there, and they don't want to go to these other tournaments and
They
play.
don't want to be brought down.
They don't want to meet a player who's the same level or better. But at the same time, we're all going out there. You see the top end players playing. And then when somebody new's coming in, our community is not big enough to shun people. And that's what me and this guy kind of talked about was, if you don't have these dicks, you have people that'll be like, "Hey, man, I wouldn't do that," or "No, man, you can't do that, but you could do it like this." You have players that want to help each other and get them into the game. So these tournaments become bigger and better.
Yeah, because I had the same experience down in California. I had my first round opponent during the Swiss. He was just, I think that was his maybe a month into playing HeroClix, so he didn't know all the rules yet. Even though it's a big tournament, you don't want to tell him what to do to potentially kill your piece, but then you're like, dude, you gotta help him. You gotta, even though it could cost you the game, at least my feeling was I could help him a little bit.
Even not even that, but just be like for example, when he was going to mizzle pick running shot on Solaris, it's like he had to crit hit to even damage him.
Exactly.
So, and I don't want to win like that.
Well, he didn't even know any of the power, so I had to teach him charge and running shot because he was using the Trinity War Superman and Batman, so he didn't know that the Batman could choose multiple or the power.
Wow.
So, but just as a community, we want to encourage them instead of just saying, "Oh, sorry, you ain't gonna just cream you." I mean, he took some points away from me, which I'm like, it's no big deal because I already knew I had the game locked down. But overall, we just want to make sure that other players come down, enjoy the game, and enjoy the tournaments, not just think that we own the place and they're not allowed.
So anyway, sorry, Aubrey.
Oh no, you're good.
Your day.
My day was really good. That chicken sandwich that started it off was pretty good.
No, we
smelled
did.
terrible.
The one I thought smelled like cow shit, but okay.
Delicious and covered in jalapenos.
Anyway.
We got down to the Guardian games, like they said, met up with a couple of friends, and then we went in, and when I was filling out my sheet, I ran out of spaces, and I actually had to look for Brian and ask him for advice on what to do, because I was lost. I ended up running a drone swarm team with a full Justice League teleporter. I ran a Solaris on the Colossal Retaliation dial, 4 of the Ultron 8s, 3 of the Ultron 1 drone dials, and an Ultron 7. This team is so much fun. It's ridiculous, though. It's just absolutely stupid. It does so many stupid things that should not be allowed. First game of the day, I went against David Allgood, and talk about a really fun person to play. He was an awesome guy, super nice. He was trying out a fun team of his. It was the Handstand Spider-Man with a Proteus on it. And then he also, I forget what the other character was, but it was just super cool. It actually worked out pretty good. We played and we were talking the entire time. We just all around had a really, really good team, and really, really just a ton of fun. My second match was the craziest match of the day because I was running Drone Swarm and he was running a Living Lightning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there was a lot of very, very tense moments because I didn't know that you could get someone so far across your map one turn and still get them back in your starting area. he had a swing to 23 and still ended up back in the starting area because he was running a Living Lightning with a Jean Grey and a Captain America, the one that you power action to get the movement back.
Reaction movement.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he would power action the
gross.
free action TK out the Living Lightning. Living Lightning would do his running shot pin side energy explosion, and then he would power action the captain to bring him back, and then power action to bring him back. And it was just, what do you do? You know. So I just ended up spacing him out, so there was no way in hell he was going to get off energy explosion that hit me and killed more than multiple characters. But that thing also has 3 targets, and it gets +2 to damage for just hitting robots. And I don't know how.
He planned for you.
Yeah, literally. He's like, oh, this guy's going to show up. And he's like, I was kind of hoping you were running a Krang. And I was like, I was kind of hoping you weren't running a Living Lightning. I don't know how. I ended up winning the game. I took 180 points. I killed this call-in for a nick. I killed a drone, or that was one other thing that I ended up killing, but it was like the most ridiculously tense. It's Jean Grey. I was like, no more of that. So I got rid of. It was actually the Jean Grey, his drone, and the Captain America is what I killed. Now that I remember, and that was just like. If there was a game that should have been broadcast, it was that game because we were both like, "Oh my god!"
I still don't know how you won that game.
Oh, and you were sitting next to me.
Yeah.
That's the greatest part.
Yeah, I still don't know how you won that because he should have been able to kill 3 drones at a time.
Oh yeah. It was. Oh man, there was so many things going on that it was just like he couldn't hit, and then I couldn't hit, and then I could finally hit, and then when you have 7 attacks in a turn, you better be able to hit. And plus that running shot pin side dial on the Ultron 8s is no joke. Hitting for 4 damage with an 11 attack when you can do like 5 of those in a turn, yeah, no big deal, you know. Really balanced, lots of counterplay because they only have 2 clicks, I guess. But that team wraps that teleporter so fast. It was so ridiculous. I don't think there was only one game that I didn't get to use Real Boys in to any effect. That was, and that was against Chip, which was my 4th game of the day, and that was when I was like, all right, I'm not getting into top 8. The reason why is I went against Jordan Beers for my 3rd game, and they can't kill tech, you know. I killed his dead man like 4 times on accident just because he was like either caught from an energy explosion or he was the target of a colossal retaliation and he pushed to death, and there was so many things that I just killed him with one of the drones just to get him out of the way so I could not have him locked up, and just trying to kill that Captain America LE. I had a chance to. It was I took away his defense power. I needed a 5 on a nick, and I rolled force twice. So that's the thing. And I was like, great, fantastic, because from that moment on, that next turn, I had both my real boys, and I would have won because it was one shot. He would have killed both of them. But you know, stuff like that happens, and I ended up with 0 points, and he ended up with lots of points. And I don't think I missed a single drone reroll at all. So I ended up with like 900 drones that day. And then I went against Chip. And I was like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. This is Lex. This is nasty. I'm not going to be able to kill him. I'm going to roll up with 1 drone, sacrifice this 1 drone, and I'm going to call in the green arrow, and he's going to choose Precision Strike, and he's going to attack the Jarvis, and he's also going to attack the Atom. 12 attack. I need to hit a 15. Crit miss. So it was a very interesting start of the game. I was like, okay. So he ends up attaching the Sin and moving up, calls in something. He misses killing my green arrow by like 1 or 2 clicks. And then I had to call out a second guy to kill the Atom, and then I killed the Atom, and I start running away. He kills 1 drone. Okay, now I got to come back in, and I have to commit. there was like multiple times where I had 9 characters around him, and it just, that plasticity and just hitting those side steps to be able to get away and sidestep away and get out of there, and just having no counterplay to the whole, other than, pulse wave, which also I think I ended up missing with, not starting next to him, you can't cause damage to him. It ended up being a really, really fun game. It was scary for a minute. I ended up accruing 89 points into my day with 569 points. It was just a lot of fun, though. No complaints, really. It was a great tournament. Just all around solid. And then I'll pass it back to Brian.
Right on. So we're gonna take a few minutes and probably talk a little bit about TMNT, our thoughts. It's gonna be real quick. Me and Matt ended up buying a case of Joker's Wild last night. So we'll go a little bit into our polls on that. I don't want to take too much time because we don't want this podcast to run too long. But some pretty good pieces in TMNT. That Krang subprime is pretty interesting. Not as good as the last Krang.
No, well,
But I don't know what will be.
yeah, that Krang is. I mean, the other Krang, there's just too much you can do with. Like,
Right.
Krang subprime's interesting, but for 160 points, like,
Pay the extra 10.
you're right. Like,
I agree.
straight up.
Really, I think the biggest piece I like out of that set is either Rat King or Renee Tilly.
I want to get me a Bloboid or Globoid or whatever the hell it is.
Right.
Plasticity and shape change is my jam. But I mean, the pieces I want to build teams with, I guess is the best way to put it, is that Irma I've considered a lot.
Yep.
At the 25-point or her 60-point dial. That Rat King, I like him a lot. I'd like to do something with him. And then Armageddon, the shark dude. I don't know.
I'm going to get it on.
Armageddon. I like him a lot, which I talked about. We talked about him a little bit with the brother when I was on the Brothers Prob podcast. I think he's a pretty neat piece. What are the other superheroes out of that set? I can't even think of them. Renee Tilly. I wouldn't mind.
The other turtles.
Oh yeah, there's some turtles.
2 turtles.
Rat
King.
Yeah,
Renee
Rat
Tilly.
King's rare.
Yeah, he's
Renee
my
Tilly
favorite.
would be the other one I'd want. But
The Krang was the brother.
Krang
Krang.
super.
Not a whole lot, though.
Minus that one chase, like
Fast Forces is pretty good.
the Fast Forces I actually like more than most of this set.
Yeah.
I love Foot Soldiers, but I love the old Foot Soldiers a little bit more.
Right?
I like the old Casey Jones better.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't understand why they printed 2 more Casey Jones. I mean,
Different eras.
I know different eras.
Yeah.
I just figured they could have done a
But
little bit
I mean,
more.
I can't think of any other super notable pieces out of TMNT too.
Oh,
Renee Tilly Rat King. That's it.
yeah.
In my opinion.
There's going to be some other things,
That April O'Neil out of the Fast Force is a little ridiculous.
yeah.
Um,
There's some interesting pieces. That's probably where I'm going to leave it at that.
Dre, any other TMNT too?
I haven't had a chance to really look at the set or even buy anything because obviously I've been saving for all the WKOs here. But the only one that I really was interested in was the Shelectro. That was just me, and I mean
A lot of people like that Shelectro.
I mean, his power looks really good, but like I said, in paper could be great, but once you start playing it, that's when you start going like, yeah, never mind. I lost interest.
Well, I guess. Sorry. Joker's Wild then.
Oh, boy.
What this one is more like a grocery list of characters that I like.
Dude,
That's a lot of Jokers.
what isn't good in that set?
You could close your eyes, spin around in a pile of Joker's Wild, and pick out a
So,
good
I
piece.
mean, let's go into... we played a 2-booster sealed. and I ended up pulling a Mr. Freeze and that common Batman, and just making people hate their lives.
Batman's so stupid.
Yeah, the Hawkman's not. I mean, pretty good. It's just so.
Thangarian's not bad.
Thangarian's awesome. Oh my goodness.
Oh, who's the guy that's got the Lazarus pit? That guy's so
Oh,
good.
Razgul.
Ra's
Yeah,
al
Ra's al
Ghul.
Ghul.
That sketch variant guy he's solid.
I mean, there's
looking.
some solid stuff. And we did that, and then we were gonna buy a case online, and because I'm an impulse buyer, we ended up buying it from the comic book shop up there, and it was worth a little bit of extra money we spent just to know that we were actually getting it. It wasn't going to be damaged.
Plus the polls.
We're not impatient. We didn't get a lot of Spanish cards.
I
I
got
heard about that.
I got one Spanish card, and it was a common piece.
Yeah, same
Buenos
same
dias,
here.
So
muchachos.
does anybody know
Los
why we
preciosos.
Because it's Whiz Kids.
Well, that's the logic, but
No, that's why. It's
Yes.
Whiz Kids.
and now
Whiz
without
Kids
the
El Terrible.
Right. And
Oh.
so,
Oh,
because
that's
I fronted the cash on the case, Matt let me choose my brick first, and I just buy dice roll. And
In all fairness, no matter which brick he got, he probably would have been pretty happy.
I'm happy with the brick I got, but I wasn't terribly happy because I opened up my first booster, and I think, what'd I get? Can't remember, because I bought a couple extra boosters. That's where I got my Anarchy Prime.
It was a super rare. It was like the Riddler or something.
No, I got that later.
Yeah, that was like the
Clayface?
fifth one.
No, I don't think I got anything really notable. And
It
then
was
your
just a
very
bunch of
first
commons.
booster is just like, oh yeah, Bizarro Green Arrow. And
No, my very first booster was Anarchy Prime.
that's right.
Because then we're like, and I go, well, it's a common prime. And you're like, yeah, we'll see how it goes. You opened up your second booster, and then I opened my second booster, and there's that doofy SOB
Right.
sitting right there. So then I got, the Green Arrow chase.
Yeah. So you got that. And here I am. I'm being all disappointed because at that point I knew I was going to get a Prime because that's just the distribution.
Yeah.
And I opened up my third booster, and there was Jakeem Thunder. And I'm just like, huh. Yeah.
Yeah, so
just as good.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That was
what
pretty
a
bad.
I
Yeah.
was, like when he opened up Jakeem and I had already pulled that Green Arrow, I'm like, well, apparently either booster or either brick I would have been happy with.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty happy with Jakeem.
Yeah,
I read them, and I'm just like, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, Gina.
well, and like,
Yeah.
and that's with the eventuality of Nick Fury, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. retiring.
Yep.
With Nighthawk Prime and Peggy Carter going out the window, it's kind of like, what are you going to fill that Prime slot with? Like
Jakeem Thunder.
Jakeem Thunder.
That Bizarro is going to be so nasty when that Nick Fury teleports out. Just, oh my gosh.
There's a lot of pieces
Oh my
once that Nick's
gosh.
gone.
Devil Dino with the Bizarro Green Arrow. Oh.
But yeah, like that Mr. Freeze is really good. There's a lot of good pieces in that set, guys. If you're debating, I know we have a few people that listen to us. Kit World or Joker's Wild.
Buy Joker's Wild.
It is a solid set to get into.
Ton of support. Ton of low point.
Don't go
So
looking
many.
for Prob in this set.
Yeah, there's not very much.
But
Yeah.
you can put,
Indomitable as well. It's just not there.
Some of the Indomitable pieces, I'm shocked. Like Dr. Fate
Yeah.
and Green Lantern makes sense having an Indomitable, but that's another area where I really want to take a closer look. Is all this JSA replacement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that is
It's ridiculous.
so gross. Like
If you have a bucket of Joker's Wild, though, you could throw a toothpick in there, pick up the piece that has it, and it's going to have 18 defense with ESD.
Yeah, pretty much.
And like every
or
piece
help
in there
stealth
has-
and combat reflexes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
super gross.
Or charge and flurry on the same click. You know?
Yeah, I really liked
With the special outfit.
the generics. I liked. WizKids. I know you'll never hear this, but I would prefer if most commons, like if not all commons, are generics,
Yeah.
because then I feel like it makes their worth higher.
Right.
I mean, you can still have the prime one, obviously, and have it be a named character, but I feel like commons just should be generics. Because I was so tired of the Flash set having like 18 girders,
Yeah.
like when I'm gonna run 0, like for the rest of my life.
It's very true.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you and me were talking about that, and we'll go into that probably at later podcasts. Some ideas we have and all that good stuff.
A lot of jumpers.
We're also thinking about a few things on the front for us. Maybe doing a tutorial series. We've really strongly considered that. Right now, there's a few good tutorials out there, but I'd like to do one on the rule book, how to play the game, maybe go over the pack. Let us know, guys, if that's something you're interested in. We had decided before, too, when we record games, we're going to use neoprene, but we had a request. It's kind of cool, actually, to get a request, but to use some paper maps still.
From the champion himself.
You're right. So we're still working on a way to cut down on the glare. Those paper maps, even if are so bad for glare, we're trying different anti-glare shades, stuff like that. Try and get it to work. We may even take a whiteboard and put a grid on it, and then that way we could transpose maps onto it with dry erase markers with no glare. We're trying different things. We enjoy doing it. We're going to keep on doing it. Especially recording games. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, because after WKOs, we'll probably record more games.
So we have more time, yeah.
For sure.
Well, and then we'll record matches with the teams that we ran at both tournaments.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Superhero show.
Yeah,
Well,
not like that.
no, it'll be the ones we ran.
Right.
I mean, one of the biggest parts, and I enjoy Superhero Showdown because, I mean, it's high-end players and they have a good idea about how the team works.
Right.
But it's just like Pat versus Scott for Worlds. Pat tested against the zombie team base, and, like, he knew what it could do, but Scott ran it so differently from the people that play tested it against him that it was just a whole different monster.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, if I took Dre's team from WKO, I wouldn't be able to run it as well as Dre did. Like,
because
Dre,
it's different mentality.
yeah, they're just totally different
Well,
idea
I mean,
of what you got to do.
It really depends on. I don't think any way would be better. It's just every single person's going to play a team differently than what you expect. It's just like when I use Nick's, I'm not afraid to get up close.
Right.
If he gets that penetrating in those modifiers, whether it's ranged or not. You just
super strength.
You can only predict so much before somebody actually throws the curveball.
Right. I wouldn't mind going into some future podcasts and let us know, guys, if this is stuff that interests you. But our mentality when we play test, what we do. I know a lot of different people. They play test a lot of different ways, and it'd be interesting,
Yeah, like Daniel, he has to play test against himself.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And I'm not a guy that can do that. Like,
actually, we were talking about it when we were waiting for the store to open on Saturday. We were talking about it. He just said, like, I tried it 3 different ways. He said he did aggressive, mid-aggressive, and passive.
Yeah.
But he told me, like, but the thing is that you know what your team can do, and you know what the other team does. You can't really.
Right.
Well, yeah, Daniel strikes me as like Rocky, but like Rocky 4 Rocky, where he's like out in the wilderness by himself, running through the snow and lifting lumber to train. Like, that's how Daniel strikes me when he trains for these events.
Right.
Because Daniel ran a completely, I don't know if it was completely original, but very original, very his style but different team at WKO, and it's just like, and he made top 8, and I was like, good God, dude. Like,
and he wasn't even 8th. He was
like 6th.
6th, 7th.
Yeah, he went 3-1.
Yeah. No, he wasn't 7th. He was 6th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you were 4th.
Yeah. Going into it.
Yeah.
I think I was like 5th overall or something. I don't know. I'm not 100% on
because
that.
Jason was 6th. I mean 8th. Because he was the bubble.
Well, we're talking.
I know, but I mean
overall.
He had to be either 6th or 7th. I mean, for Schurmeister, because Jason was 8th. So
Yeah,
well, Schurmeister, I know for sure was 6th.
Yeah.
Because the matchup is 1v8, 2v7. That was third. Um, so you guys know another WKO, Lacey. That's coming up. We'll be doing another podcast on it. We're gonna have, I believe that'll be everyone that's here plus Corey. Jason's still unsure of whether or not he's gonna be able to make the WKO.
Right.
Just because. So, yeah, guys. Like I said, sorry. Took us a little bit longer than expected to get this out, but we've been super busy. We're hopefully content will start flowing a little bit more. Join our Facebook page. Let us know. I've had a few more people subscribe. We're going to continue to try and get content up there. We should be having an analysis of the top 8 teams at Oregon WKO from Corey. He might wait until after the next WKO and just put them both up. Again, guys, the requests, that's our biggest thing, mailbag. We'll put that stuff first. If you want something, we will put it up there. We had a request for more videos, different styles of teams and stuff. If you want original teams or if you guys want to see maybe how 2 teams might be pit against each other and you just don't know and you don't have the means of play testing it, me and Matt or me and somebody else or Matt and somebody else or whatever, we'll play test it. We'll record it, we'll put it up. You see how it goes. That's not.
Yeah, because I put a thing up on Critical Clicks a while ago that was like, if there's any builds you want to see, let me know. And I think it was Keith Smotherman replied with the porn star Namor build.
Mm-hmm.
But we never got our hands on a Namor, ironically enough.
Yeah.
Oh, the grand prize one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Keith, if you're listening, when we get a chance, well, hopefully I'll come up with a build, or Brian will come up with a build for it.
Sure.
But yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's probably going to do it for episode 2. Again, thanks for tuning in. We'll have episode 3 here also going up shortly. And for anyone that's listening, good luck on your next round of WKOs. All right. Peace.
Merry Christmas.
Later.